Absolutely, of course I can. So YPO are part of the RM3781 framework, and we collaborate with CCS and ESPO on there. We actually conduct ourselves a little bit different. So we've got a full team supporting you on this. And the reason being is we understand the education market really well. It's our bread and butter. So you've got two routes to market here. So you've got lot one, which is a sole supplier with Canon. And that means that you log on to the Canon portal, you see a selection of devices, you see the rental or purchase price of the devices and the click charge, which is how many times you print, and you click an order and you get full support from Canon. That is a compliant route to market. The other option you've got, if you want to test the market for competition, is lot two. And under lot two, there's 9 suppliers. And we understand that that's quite a lot of suppliers for you to engage with. So what we do here at YPO is we've got somebody full-time employed that actually deals with all our quotes. So we work really close with these suppliers. We know exactly what information they need from you. Things such as your current specifications and the volumes that you print. And then what they can do is pull a quote together, and we will then collate those quotes from the multiple suppliers on your behalf and present them back to you in a standard format. And we can even explain what the total cost of ownership means to you, and look at what your current costs are and help you realise where the savings are. So obviously you can feed that back to the business. Okay, so total cost of ownership can be misunderstood in the market actually, and it's a really important factor to realising your savings. So what I have seen in the past is some schools might compare rental charges only, but actually when you're purchasing a printer, it's all about the click charge, the amount of times that you actually print in black and white or colour, mono and colour. And what you need to do to understand the total cost of ownership is the rental charge plus how many prints you do multiplied by the cost of those prints. And if you look at that over a year, that'll give you your total cost of ownership. So that's what you need to do for your current device and also the new devices to realise the savings. What we see quite often is customers will just look at rental. It's also really important to understand the contract, because a lot of suppliers that aren't on our framework will put a threshold in of how many prints you can have at a certain cost. So understanding the total cost of ownership is really important. Absolutely. So on the framework, we've put some KPIs in that we measure at framework level for you, and you actually benefit at call-off stage for that. So those are an uptime of 97% and a call-out of 4 hours. And there are some diagnostics that can be done on multifunctional devices and printers over the phone, but actually the suppliers that we work with that understand the education market have a lot of engineers on the ground, and we measure all those KPIs every quarter face to face with the suppliers. Also, by using a framework, you've got the added benefit that if you don't feel that you are getting that type of service, you can always come to me, YPO, you know, the framework provider, and we'll follow that up with you. Okay, so MFDs are quite advanced these days in printers, and they automatically dial up when the toner reaches a certain threshold. So you don't have the worry of, you know, it running out and then you wait in a few days. So what happens is, as part of the software that's inbuilt into the MFDs, they dial up the provider, and the toners then arrive at site within time that the toners have actually run out. However, obviously, if you're reaching a peak period, the machine won't know that, so it's always best just to put a call in and order some extras, or let your supplier know that you're at peak time for the toners. But yeah, it's a really easy process. And just to note, as part of the framework, you don't pay separately for the toners. They are actually classed as a consumable and are a part of the click charge. That differs quite a lot on frameworks outside, on contracts outside of the framework. So it's a framework that deals with a multitude of things around managed print and documents. So essentially, it's a compliant route to market to procure MFDs, multifunctional devices. printers, print room equipment, and then the software solutions around that, so such as Follow Me Print, Papercut, that's quite prominent in the education market, and that's where you go up to your MFD device, use either a card or a pin, and it just actually prints off the documents that you sent to print. It follows the stream of documents, so it also deals with document management, so documents that we've been working on and printing for hundreds of years, they need to be housed in secure, temperature controlled locations. And also now with digitisation looming, we need to digitise these documents. That involves scanning, and so the framework covers scanning, and we need to shred the documents securely that we don't require, and so the framework covers that also. And then on the 7th lot, it deals with an independent audit and consultancy piece. So I'm sure you can imagine this whole document scanning and what you can keep, what you can't keep, where you store it, what you procure, software, GDPR implications can be quite comprehensive. So that lot covers with that kind of detail. Yeah, so lot 1 is a sole supplier. That sole supplier is Canon, and they've gone away and developed a portal. So it's a lot that's backed by the DFE, because it's an easy compliant route to market for the education market predominantly, but can be used by others such as housing, central government. So it's an online catalogue of MFDs, so you basically log on, you choose a specification of MFD that you require, and that is presented with a picture of the actual MFD, and then by the side of it, it shows you the lease cost or the purchase cost, and then the mono and colour click charges, and you click and purchase. That's compliant, it's classed as a direct award, and it's easy to use for education. Lot 2 is a lot where you can either direct award or do a further competition, but it really tests the market to make sure that you're getting best value for money. And lot 2 consists of 9 suppliers. Now, I understand that 9 suppliers can seem quite daunting when you're going to market. So that's 9 suppliers potentially that you have to engage with, which is time consuming. Procurement is a busy job. So what we do here at YPO is we take some of that work away for you, and we will go out to those 9 suppliers on your behalf, and we will obtain quotes for them, and that will enable you to re-establish a price for your specifications and direct award. On the further competition side, we can help you set up pre-engagement sessions with the 9 suppliers, and we can house your further competition documents on our e-tendering portal and manage the clarifications piece with you. So there's a realm of services that we can offer around lot 2 just to make that process easier and make sure that you've tested the market. Lot 3 is our managed service lot, and there are some preconceptions around lot 3. It can mean different things to different people, managed service. So managed service could be that you have one of the main suppliers on site that totally manage your fleet of MFDs, your print reduction, the innovation around print, the software, moving some of your processes such as annual revenue billing that they do in local authorities. That can be done by a hybrid that's covered in the scope of this framework. But it can also, it doesn't mean that you have to lose your staff, because that can be quite a concerning subject for our customers. You know, these suppliers are happy to work alongside your skilled staff, and it could be that they need to upskill them or just complement them. So it doesn't have to mean the managed service that you actually have to go through the whole TUPE process. But the aim of this is that the scope is quite wide and you can innovate and cost save continuously. You don't lease the equipment here, so it's a different pricing structure. But it works for some, and we've had some great successes on lot 3 of the framework. Lot 4 is our records management piece, and that's where we've got public sector bodies that require to store their records in specialist off-site storage locations, which are temperature controlled, have high security. Not only do you store the records there, but you need to retrieve the records, and this process is auditable and trackable, and the suppliers will work with you to see which records you're requesting on a frequent basis. And then you can move into other call-offs around digitising those records, or which records you actually need to keep. So it can be a reduction process of the records that you've got, because obviously it costs to store the records. So we like the suppliers to work with you to only store records really that you need. Yes, lot 5 is a scanning element. So if you're going down the route of looking to start digitising your records, then you need to get that paper scanned in, and that can be quite a task to do yourself. So a lot of our providers have specialist scanning facilities, staff, they can do it on site or off site, and that's what that lot deals with for you. Lot 6 is our sensitivity review lot. So this is where parts of public sector have documents that are stipulated that they need to keep for certain periods of time. So it could be historical documents related to Parliament, and the specialist people that actually review these documents and stipulate if they can be kept, if they can be scanned, if they can be digitised, and they often work on projects with government bodies to do that. So lot 7 is our independent audit and consultancy lot, and this complements really lot 1 and lot 2, and possibly lot 3. So it's where maybe you don't know how many devices you've got. You're a housing association with 100 sites, and you've got MFDs, but they were procured some time ago. They've moved around sites, and so this person is from the industry and will actually come in and audit what kit you've got, and also maybe consult on how you go about your procurement. Do you want software? Are you looking to innovate, reduce? Are you moving from desktop printers to MFDs for the first time? And the software solutions on the market. So that's usually done prior going out to your further competition. But it's quite a useful lot for customers that maybe don't have that in-house support. Okay, what you should do is get in contact with myself and the team, and we can provide you with a lot of documentation. So we hold documents on the website of saying why lot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Also, we've got call-off templates, but they are quite comprehensive. And I guess that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this today, is just to break that down into a manner that everybody can understand. But what I would say on the first instance is to contact the team, discuss what lot you're interested in, and it could be that you don't actually even know at this time what lots you are interested in, so we can have that conversation.